My next speaker, I'm proud to announce that I've been following her. She's she's a trusted global speaker on gratitude and creativity. Wow, diba? She is also a Jack Canfield certified trainer on success principles. So Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Yeah, and we all know him. She has authored and published 12 books so far. And then when she's not writing or speaking, she is creating online summits. The last summits that she created, I was there. I attended some of her summits because I feel like she's giving so much value and helping so many people. This is what I gravitate with. If there's anything I gravitate with, people I collaborate, it's yung the heart to help and to be of service to the community, make life a little better. So she's the founder of the HR Summit Global, Overseas Filipino Summit, Write a Book Summit, and the World Gratitude Summit. Shah is also passionate about teaching people how to write books through their signature online course, the 90-day book writing challenge. One of my friends, Jen D. De Guzman, told me about her book, how she was also mentored by our next guest. So that's the reason why I really wanted her also to speak, to be able to inspire people. In June 2019, she was awarded by the United Nations Global Entrepreneur Council as the Female Entrepreneur of the Year. So, imagine getting valuable information, valuable tips and strategies from someone that was awarded as the Female Entrepreneur of the Year by United Nations. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Shan Nacino, a global speaker and founder of Wright University, and she will talk about should you start writing your book. Hi, Sha!
Hi, Celia! And
Hi.
hi sa ating mga nanonood. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to be part of the Freedom Summit Global.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll leave you because I think you have so many things to share. So, okay, like what Fabio said, you are free.
Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen now. All right. Okay, so hi, this is Nacino. I'm really happy to be here for the Freedom Summit Global. And today I'd like to talk about should you start writing your book? And before I start my presentation, I'd like to give you a gift. So if you're listening right now, I have a gift for you, and I'll share the link towards the end of my presentation. So please stay tuned. I'll be speaking for the next 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes, there's a Q&A for 15 minutes. So if you have any questions for me, just type them in the chat box, okay? So this is my free ebook for you, Why You Need to Write a Book, and you can download it for free later on. My journey as an author was more of a serendipity. I didn't wake up one day and tell myself, someday I'd like to become an author. Someday I'd like to write a book. It didn't happen that way. What happened was when I was still employed, I got buried in credit card debts in my first year as an employee. And at that time I was sick and tired of my job. I wanted to quit my job, but I couldn't because number one, I was buried in debts. I had no savings. And number two, I asked myself, if I will resign, what will I do? Where will I go? I didn't know the answers. I felt like my back was against the wall. I did not like what I was doing in my job, in my work, but I also didn't know where I wanted to go. And worst, I had no money and I only had debts. So that inspired me to start reading books on money. And the first book I read was the book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you've heard that book, say Rich Dad Poor Dad in the comments. And that book really changed my life. It made me hunger for financial literacy, and it made me hunger to keep on reading. It made me hunger for more knowledge, more wisdom. So I kept on reading more books, and I also started to attend seminars and seek mentors. Finally, after 3 years, I was able to zero out my debts. And, after I zeroed out my debts, an idea came to mind, and this was actually an idea that I picked from a seminar I attended. The speaker said, if you want to spread a message and make some money, you write a book, you record an album, and blah, 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 blah. But all I was hearing was, Sha, write a book, write a book, write a book. And I felt so uncomfortable. I had so many hesitations why I did not want to write a book. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know anyone from the publishing industry. Writing was my Waterloo. I was not a writer. I was a math person. I didn't know who to ask, what to ask. I was really I felt I was really in the dark as regards writing a book. And I wanted to discard the idea of writing a book, but I felt that the calling was so strong. And here's how weird it got. I would wake up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. and I would hear a voice telling me, Sha, write a book. Or I would be in my work and so I would do my work and then suddenly I would hear a voice telling me, Sha, write a book, write a book, write a book. It felt like a broken record and I wanted really to discard the idea. But I felt it was God telling me, Sha, you need to write a book because it is not for you. It is for the people who will be blessed by your books. And so I heeded the call, and fast forward to today, I've written about 12 books. These are some of the books I've written, and this is a journal. And I've written these books even if I was not a writer. Um, and later on, I discovered that there is a formula. Or actually, I created a formula for writing a book, but that's getting ahead of my story. So now I keep writing books, and even during the lockdown, we were able to launch a book. We did our first virtual launch of a book. So on Mother's Day, I curated the book to get, and I invited 41 other authors to co-author the book with me. It's a special book for moms, and we titled it "To the First Woman Who Loved Me." So there, and yes, I'm a Jack Canfield certified trainer on success principles. I met Jack Canfield in the US in March 2019. So I attended his 8-day cruise. So we went on a Caribbean cruise, and that's where I met Jack Canfield in person, and we really connected. And I learned a lot from Jack Canfield. And one of the things that he really affirmed in me is gratitude, because I made a decision to really focus on gratitude as regards my talks for B2B, for companies and for organizations. And I felt like, what, gratitude? It sounds so simple. Why should I talk about gratitude? But I felt in my heart that that was the message I wanted to share. And during those 8-day cruise with Jack Canfield, every time, every single time that he would start a lesson, he would start with gratitude first. So I felt like he affirmed my decision to really focus on gratitude. So now the title of my talk is "Should You Start Writing a Book?" So maybe you're here because there's a little voice inside you that tells you that you want to write a book. So I want to listen to you. I want to hear from you in the comments. So in the comments, can you just write down if you plan to write a book? Just say in the comments, I want to write a book. Okay, just declare in the comments, because when you declare it, there is power in your words. And maybe you have questions like, why should I write a book? Or should I really write a book? Is it a good decision to write a book? And in my talk for the next few minutes, I'll share with you the benefits of writing a book. And I'll share with you some of my personal experiences that that occurred to me after I wrote my book. So these were the benefits I personally experienced after I wrote my first book. Benefit number one is speaking engagements. After I wrote my first book, companies started to invite me to speak in their seminars, in their conventions, in their events. And the only reason why they invited me was because I wrote a book. So I've been speaking since 2011, and in 2011 I was still employed in a bank. I decided to do my speaking engagements for free. Number one, because I wanted to test myself. Am I doing speaking for money, or am I doing it because I'm so passionate about it? Is it something that I'll do out of passion or out of money? And number two, I wanted to test whether what my mentor Bo Sanchez said was true when he said that serve first, money will follow. So I decided to give my talks for free from 2011 up until 2013. And whenever I would give my talks, I would really give my 101%. And after giving talks for free for 3 years, I realized that yes, I'm doing talks out of passion because I'm really passionate about it, with or without compensation. And yes, I also realized that yes, when you serve first, money will follow. Because even when I made the decision to give talks for free, companies were already ready to give me their money, to pay me, and they were giving me figures. But I just said, for now, I'll do it for free. and I just did it from with an open heart, from the heart of from the heart that serves. So I know the potential of being a speaker, right? So that's my first blessing. And then when I quit my job in August 2013, I started to charge for my talks in 2014. And I remember that the first ever speaking engagement that I charged, I think it was a 1 hour or 2 hour talk, and the amount that I charged for 1 hour talk was equivalent to half month of my previous salary. So I could really see that yes, when you give value to other people, money is a symbol of value. So when you want to have more money, you need to serve first and give value, and that's how you get the money. Okay. So speaking engagements. And then in 2018, I made the decision to become a global speaker because 2011 up until 2018, I was a speaker in the Philippines. So I would speak mainly in the Philippines. I did speak in other parts of the country, other parts of the world like Hong Kong, Singapore, etc. But mostly with the Filipino audience. So I made a decision. I want to be a global speaker to a global audience, not just to Filipinos, but to people from different nationalities. And so I got invited to speak in the US. So this was in 2019, in India, Singapore, Malaysia, and also the Maldives. This year, 2020, I got speaking invitations in South Africa, Maldives, and other parts of the world. But as we know, because of COVID-19, those events were canceled. So, but see, these all started when I wrote the books. After I wrote a book, I was perceived as the expert. I was perceived as a resource speaker, and 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 companies, organizations were willing to fly me to different parts of the world, pay for my accommodation, for my airfare, for my professional fee, just to give a 1 hour keynote or 45 minutes keynote. And that all started when I wrote my book. Blessing number two is after I wrote my first book, I fell in love with writing and I discovered my passion in writing. I also discovered my passion for speaking. And so now my passion is my purpose, and I could say that the world is my office. I can work from anywhere. I can work from home. I can work from practically anywhere because my work is not really location bound. So there is location freedom, there is time freedom, and there is money freedom. Blessing number three is the opportunity to touch lives. So after I wrote my first book, and actually some other books, I've received a lot of emails, messages, and comments from people who've read my book, and a lot of them said, "Thank you for inspiring me. I was you changed my life," things like that. But one of the comments or one of the emails that I received that really touched my heart was from a woman, and this woman said that her boyfriend dumped her, and then she was fired from her work, and she had messy finances, and she had no more reason to live. She did not find any more reason to live. She was so depressed that she wanted to end her life. And she said that she read my book, Money and Me, read my book, Money and Me, and she said the book gave her hope. And she said she felt so excited to live again. So there, wow. That's one of the blessings that your book can do. You don't know the number of people that you can bless, even while you're sleeping. Because once you write a book, you publish it either online as an ebook or you print copies. And it's like you talking to hundreds or thousands or millions of people one at a time. Even while you're sleeping, while you're reading a book, while you're playing, whatever you do, you are touching lives, and that is priceless for me. So that's blessing number three. Blessing number four is meeting people. Okay. Blessing number four is meeting people. I remember in 2014, I attended the Toastmasters International Convention in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Is anyone here a Toastmaster? If you are a Toastmaster, kindly write in the comment, "I'm a Toastmaster," or Toastmaster. Okay, I can read your comments. I have my iPad here, so I can read your comments. So there, I attended Toastmasters International Convention in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in 2014. And the main speaker, the keynote speaker, was Robin Seeger. There were 3,000 public speakers from 126 countries globally. And the keynote speaker, there were many other speakers, but the keynote speaker was Robin Seeger. So that's him delivering his keynote. And while he was speaking, he said something that really caught my attention. He said, one of the most important roles of a speaker is to love the audience. And when he said that, I told myself, wow, I want to be connected to this person. I want him to become my mentor. But how can you stand out from 3,000 people, right? So after his talk, there was a long line of people wanting to get his autograph. And I was one of those people who lined up. And I lined up, as you can see, I brought my book, Mine and Me, because I think that was the only book that I published at that time. Well, I've printed at that time. And so after so I lined up, and I told Robin Seeger, Robin, hi, this is Cha from the Philippines. I really loved your talk. Can you sign your book for me? So I bought his book. He signed it, and then I said, I want to give you a copy of my book, Mine and Me. This is just a token of gratitude for you. I know you don't need it, but this is just me thanking you for a really good talk that you delivered. So it's like Robin and I exchanged books, but the only difference was that I paid for his book and he got mine for free. But that's okay. So after his talk, I thought that was the end of my conversation with Robin Seeger. But then so I went back to the Philippines, and then a few weeks later, I received an email from no less than Robin Seeger, and he said, "Sha, I read your book. I wish I read it when I was much younger." And he said, I'm coming over to the Philippines on January 2015. If you have any seminars, I'm willing to speak in your seminar pro bono. Now, just to give you an idea how big a speaker Robin Sear is, he travels around 200 times a year. Of course, prior to COVID, right? And think of of the highest paid speaker in the Philippines right now, and probably multiply his professional fee by two, by three, by four, and that's how what the companies pay Robin Seeger. So he's really a big time speaker, and he said he wanted to speak in my seminar pro bono, and his only proviso is that 100% of the net proceeds will be donated to charity. And so we organized a seminar for Robin, and we called it the Courage Conference because I needed to have the courage to share the stage with him. And so this is Robin Seeger and me in 2015, January 2015. I interviewed him also. So when you write a book, it's an opportunity to meet people. I remember in the same convention, Toastmasters International Convention, I met the world champion of public speaking, Mark Brown. And I met him. So there were thousands of speakers, right? So we just bumped into each other, and I said, "Hi, Mark. This is Shot from the Philippines. I want to give you my book." And then quick selfie, and then we went our separate ways. The next day, we bumped into each other again, and I said, "Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. This is Shah again from the Philippines." And then you know what he said? He said, "Of course, I remember you. You were the only one who gave me a copy of your book. Everyone else gave me their calling cards. You were the only one who gave me a book." So I stood out because I gave a book when everyone else gave their calling cards. So your book is like your calling card, but it's much, much more than that. So if you want to connect with people, that you want, gift them your book. Give them a copy of your book. And by the way, a tip that I can give you is that when you go to a conference, a live conference, maybe after COVID, and then you meet a speaker, don't talk to that speaker for more than 30 seconds, okay? Why? Because that is you respecting the time of that speaker, because other people would also want to speak with that speaker. So don't, wag mong salohin yung time. So make your conversation with him or her quick and memorable, and say something good about what you liked about the speaker. So that's the way to network. And then if you can get the calling card of that speaker, so that there is a way for you to email him and then connect with him on another time. All right, so this is my mentor, Bo Sanchez. Blessing number 5 is media mileage. So if you want to be interviewed on TV, radio, newspapers, etc., one of the best ways that you can do is to write a book. So I was interviewed at ANC on the Money, ABS-CBN's ANC on the Money. Because I wrote my book, Money and Me. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, we talked about my book, Money and Me. So those are the five benefits that I got when I wrote my book, and there are 100 more. There are many other reasons why it's important for you to write a book, and in fact, it is in my book why you need to write a book, which I'll give to you for free towards the end of my talk. I'll share the link with you later. Okay. There's a different connection that is being formed between the author and the speaker and the reader when you sign a book for them. So I see my books in National Bookstore, in other bookstores, and uh, and one of my dreams was I also want to help people write their own books, because a lot of people came up to me in the past, and well, up until today, they come up to me and they ask me, Sha, can you teach me how to write a book? I also want to write a book because I also want to bless people, etc. And maybe you're saying, I also want to write a book, but I'm not a writer. Can I write a book? And what I would like to tell you is that you don't need to be a writer in order to write a book. Neither do you write a book because you're a writer. So here's the thing: you write because you care and you have a message to share. All right. So that's the reason for writing a book. And now I'd like to give you a bonus. I know my talk is all about should you start writing your book, and I gave you 5 reasons why you need to start writing your book. So right now I want to read some comments. I can see your comments from here. So if you have any insights that you got from this talk so far, please share in the comments, and I'd like to acknowledge you in the comments as well. So there are 3 keys that every author must have. Key number 1 is message. So if you want to write a book, the first thing that you need to have is a message. So ask yourself, what is the message that I want to share? You don't write a book because you want to become famous, you want to get the media mileage, you want to become rich, etc. Those are positive consequences of writing a book. Those are the effects. But the cause of writing the book should be much deeper. And the deeper reason is because there is a message that you want to share. All right. So there is a message that you want to share. Um, these were the books that changed my life. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. So I already shared that with you a while ago. And also My Maid Invests in the Stock Market by Bo Sanchez. So when I read the book My Maid Invests in the Stock Market by Bo Sanchez, I said, oh wow. So if a maid can invest, I can also invest. By the way, I'd like to so Clarissa said, very amazing journey indeed. All right, thank you. So keep the comments coming. We can read them. So the team is also flashing your comments on the screen. So keep those comments coming. And so when I read the book, My Maid Invests in the Stock Market, I started to invest also in the stock market. And I remember I invested in 2010. I invested in Ayala Land, Jollibee, Meralco. So those were the 3 companies I bought in 2010. And in 2011, my friend told me, Sha, let's go to Spain. And I said, oh, okay, what are we going to do in Spain? And then she said, let's attend the World Youth Day in Madrid, Spain. And I asked her, how much is the budget? Then she gave me an amount, and I knew that my savings were not enough to go to Spain. Um, and so I remembered, aha, I have stocks in Jollibee, Meralco, and Ayala Land. I looked at my stocks and I saw that the value increased by 20% in just 1 year. So I sold my stocks, and it made me make my dream of going to Europe come true. So I went to Madrid. So we went to Madrid. We ate gelato in Rome. We went to Versailles and Paris. We had a picture taking in Paris, etc. And we saw Pope Benedict at that time. And alam nyo, everything was perfect dun sa vacation namin, sa pilgrimage namin sa Europe. Isa lang yung kulang talaga. Hindi namin nakita si Piola sa Milan. Okay, joke yun. Pwede kayong tumawa. Alright, so the first thing that you need to do, that you need to have, the first key is message. The second key is passion. So writing a book takes a lot of dedication, commitment, strong will, etc. And if you want to write a book, you should be passionate about writing a book. You should be passionate about sharing your message through writing a book, because there are many other ways to share a message, right? You can share a message by singing. You can share a message by vlogs, by blog, etc. But I believe that writing a book is one of the best ways to share a message, and you need to be passionate about writing a book, and you need passion. Why passion? It's because there are a lot of hurdles along the way, doubts, your personal doubts telling you, why am I writing a book again? Who am I to write a book? Or your friends telling you, oh, really? You're writing a book, but you're not even a writer. Or who are you? Who the heck are you? Why are you writing a book? So you'll hear many of those. Those are the doubts, self-limiting beliefs, or limiting beliefs from other people. So you have to have that strong passion to write a book that would surpass all those limitations. And I would tell you, just go back to your reason for writing a book. And the reason I would always tell the students of my 90-day book writing challenge is this: write because you care and you have a message to share. So this is not about impressing other people. This is about the message that you would like to share through a book. And this is about your heart that cares enough to share that message by writing a book. Okay, so that is key number two. And the third key is the system. You need to have the systematic way of writing a book, or the formula for writing a book. Case study, I wrote my first book in 3 years because I did not know anything about writing a book. I was not a writer. I didn't know anything about writing. No one knew me, etc. And after I wrote my first book, I realized, wait a minute, even if writing is on the creative side, there has to be a formula. So by the way, my background is I was a math person. I loved math. Why math? Because if you know the solution, if you know the formula, then you'll have the solution to all your problems. So if you're listening right now, if you love math, just write in the comments. I love math as well. I'd be happy to read your comments, or maybe the team can flash your comments. So there, so I love math, and I figured even if writing is on the creative side, there has to be a formula for writing a book. So I developed a formula for writing a book, and the only skill, using the formula that I developed, the only skill you need for you to be able to write a book is the skill to write a sentence. If you can write a sentence, then you can write a book. Why? Because because series of sentences make up a paragraph. Paragraphs make up a chapter, and chapters make up a book. As simple as that, right? But it's all a matter of how do you put the sentences together to come up with a coherent book. So that's where the formula comes in. So I developed the formula for writing a book, and I applied the formula to myself. I wrote my second book, which was an ebook, and I was able to write my ebook in just one day, just following the formula. I tested it some more. Okay, I tested it some more, and I was able to write and publish four more ebooks in a span of 6 months while working full time for a bank. And the only difference is the formula. I now have the formula. So people are coming to me, Sha, can you teach me the formula? So these are the three keys. And my mentor, Bo Sanchez, would always say, success is achieving your dreams. Significance is helping other people achieve their dreams. And so I decided, okay, I want to teach my formula to a lot of people. And I remember in 2013, there's the best-selling authors bootcamp of Bo Sanchez. So this is Bo, this is R.D. Roberto, the husband of Miriam Kimbao, and this is Dean Pax Lapid. And I remember this conversation. They were asking me about ebook publishing on Amazon. And, after the best-selling authors bootcamp, the idea of coming up with an online course on book writing came to mind. So 2013, the idea was born, and it took me 2 years to create the modules, to create the blueprint for the course. And finally, in January 2015, I was able to launch the 90-day book writing challenge. And my very bold claim is this: I can teach you how to write a book in 90 days, even if you're not a writer, and even if you're busy in your job or business. And another bold claim that I did was, after 90 days, we will organize a book launch for you. So this is prior COVID, right? So now we have 100 published authors so far. One of them is Jendi Sapon, a friend of Celia. And it was actually Jendi who introduced me to Celia. And Celia invited me to be part of the Freedom Summit Global. Again, I'm here because of my book, and because I I taught Jendi how to write her book as well. So because of the success of the 90-day book writing challenge and in the book launches, we launched the Global Authors Summit in 2018, and speakers from all over the world, non-Filipino speakers, came to the Philippines to to give talks on book writing. So this was in 2019, November 2019. We had the Global Authors Summit, and there were I think 400 to 500 people who attended. And we had speakers from India, Singapore, Malaysia, Canada, US, and many other countries. And these were your global speakers. They came here because they wanted to share their knowledge. And the other speakers were the graduates of the 90-day book writing challenge. So there. So I'm really happy that the community is evolving. So this is why I'm so passionate about sharing about book writing, because I know that books can change your life. Okay, Jendi saying a lot of inspiring ideas from you, which allowed me to finish my first ever book. Yes, I really congratulate you, Jendi, also for stepping up and for really making your dream a reality. So you made that happen. So there. So I wanna. So if you're listening right now and you want to write a book, can I just see in the comments? Can you just type yes? I'd be able to read your comments. I'll put my iPad in front of me so I can see your comments. So just write in the comments yes, so that declare that you do want to write a book. Just type in the comments. And oops. All right. And like what I shared, I have a gift for you. So I have a gift for you, which is the why you need to write your book, and you may download it for free. Okay, just go to this site. So I'll share the site with you. So this is the site, theauthorsvoice.net/book. So just go to this site and you'll be able to download this book. You'll have instant access to this book. Okay, so there. So just go to theauthorsvoice.net/book for you to be able to download the book. Theauthorsvoice.net/book, and maybe the team can also write it in the comments. So you can just click that link. And there, so that's my gift for you. And thank you for tuning in. I'll be available for the next 15 minutes for Q&A. So Ira said, it's been my dream to be able to write a book. All right. Yes, yes. Okay, so I can see a lot of yeses. So there, so that's the end of my talk. And if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. And yeah, I have my timer, so 30 minutes done. So feel free to write your comments in the feel free to write your questions in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer them.
Hello, Sha.
Hi, Celia. Yes.
Okay, amazing talk. Another awesome inspiration from you. Let's see. So many engagement here also. After MK spoke about how to, thrive as a freelancer or a virtual assistant, and how she was able to help build. She's a community builder, build the community. Also, another community builder. You inspired so many people, so many authors. I have met also some life coaches who are under your wing. I think yeah, some of them are trained by under your 90-day book challenge. I think this is a 90-day book writing challenge. Yeah, some of them I asked how were you able to write the book. We enrolled under Nacino's program, and see, 90 days, you think it's difficult, but if somebody's guiding you step by step, and also will be giving you the needed push, the 90-day, I think you can achieve it. We don't have so much time, and we will keep all those comments coming, and everything is they already got the link for the free ebook. Thank you. They're all thanking you. I hope you got inspired. One of my best friend PM'd me, and she's saying, because one of my best friend is here. She is saying that she Thank you, Sha, for sharing opportunity to write a book and shaping minds through your books. She's been messaging me and she's so inspired, and I think this lady also would be writing her own book about creativity and all the things that's in her wonderful mind. So if you have other things like events or activities, if you can share it to us now, Sha, so that we can join also, and also follow you. If
Okay,
what is
sure.
yeah, okay.
We're coming up with another summit. It's an online summit for entrepreneurs. It's called the World Gratitude Summit. And it's going to be a really interesting one. We'll share more details as days go by, but you can follow me on Instagram at sha_Nacino.
Okay. I think Shah's banner is here. Oh, sorry. No, this is Shah's banner is here. Here. Info at shinacino.com and shinacino.com. So
Yeah.
follow her. If you're interested to write a book or have yourself be published, uh, be sure to look for the right mentor, and go for someone who will really guide you to make that dream a reality. So thank you, Sha,
You're
for
welcome.
granting this time to us for free here at Freedom Summit second season. We really got inspired, and so many people are still writing their comments. So please, Sha, after this, maybe you can follow up with the comments
Yeah.
and give them, some
I'll
ideas
engage
how
in the
they can write
comments.
a book.
Sure, thank
Okay.
you. And one last, Celia. So, just for 30 seconds. So, to all the listeners, watchers right now, let's just really thank Celia, Fabio, and Charles for organizing this Freedom Summit Global. So, they're doing this from the goodness of their hearts, and it's free, right? So, if you can just share your thanks in the comments to all the organizers, that would be really great.
Thank you, thank you. That's so nice of you, Sha. And this we're doing because we are inspired also with what's happening around. You also sharing, people are sharing. It's a ripple effect. At the end of the day, what you bring out, what you bring out, the goodness, people gets inspired and they also do the same. And this is because we try to make things better and create a more meaningful life to other people around us. So thank you, Sha, and I
You're
hope everyone
welcome.
writes their book. Okay, bye.
Hey, bye.